As the WNBA turns, starring Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson. Brought to you by George Soros, Adam Silver, Kathy Engelbert, and the Global Elite.
All right, Diana Taurasi, someone that many consider in the GOAT conversation for women's basketball. She certainly considers herself a candidate for that. I think she just ended her career last year. Amazon Prime has put together a documentary that no one really wanted to see called Taurasi, and they're hyping it with this clip. Let's listen to Diana Taurasi, Whine.
I'm the best player in the world, and I have to go to a communist country to get paid like a capitalist.
Playing in Europe during the WNBA's offseason, these women were going for 7 or 8 months. They were chasing their value.
One time I came back and I was like, man, my parents have just gotten older, and I've missed a big part of it. We weren't making that much money, so generational wealth was coming from going to Russia every year. Now we have to come back home and get paid nothing to play in a harder league in worse conditions against the best competition in the world. The fucking janitor at the arena made more than me.
The most unlikable people on the planet just got more unlikable. Diana Taurasi played in Russia for several years, made good money over there. Clearly has no idea that Russia is not communist anymore. She's an idiot. She doesn't understand that as it relates to return on investment, ROI, the janitor's return on investment is greater than Diana Taurasi and any of these women in the WNBA. The league loses millions and millions of dollars every year, has every year of its existence. This is just a delusional, entitled person, a dumb jock, and Amazon Prime, and again, they get to operate without any pushback. I got to go to a communist country. You're in Russia. It's not communist. And you don't understand capitalism. When your sport doesn't generate any money, no one gets rich and famous. You don't even understand the struggle of building a league. What do you think NBA players were getting paid as they built their league the first 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years? All the glory, none of the work, just entitlement everywhere. These are the most unlikable athletes, other than Megan Rapinoe, in the history of the planet.
Help me understand how Russia can afford to pay Diana Taurasi $1.5 million a year. That I am trying to figure out. Because, the WNBA is subsidized by the NBA, obviously, to the tune of $20+ million a year, 40, 50, whatever it takes. Last year, I think it was 50. Is Russia really making money off of this? How are they
not?
Yeah. What?
Russian oligarchs have a league that they probably gamble with. It's fun. It's what they do for entertainment, and they come out of that old communist mindset of identity politics, pushing feminism, and so they're more invested and have more of a belief in the charity of just paying women for a sport because we're going to build the strongest women. That used to be their mindset, maybe, but they're just setting money on fire. This is so much money gets concentrated in the hands of a few elites, they can afford to set money on fire and pay idiots like Diana Taurasi. Steve?
I'm going to go a bit of Thomas Sowell here. To what TJ said, those who are the most subsidized are oftentimes the most entitled. And those who are most entitled are probably the most subsidized. I have a question for Ms. Taurasi, though. If you look at the average American salary, I believe it's right around $47,500. I believe she was making more than that in the WNBA. In a league that's about what, Jason? About 4 to 5 months long? So just right there, that's already something I can't judge. The other thing was, if she's making that much money in Russia and so little in the WNBA, is there a bylaw that says she has to play in the WNBA? I get it. You're missing a piece of your family's life. We all have parents that get older, and we want to cherish that time. Then, Diana, nobody was making you play in the WNBA. I don't think that there was a rule that you had to play in both leagues. Me, what I would have done is I just would have gone to Russia with love, sat out the WNBA. I don't understand this whole thing that we have to play in the WNBA. No, you actually don't. So, the most unlikable league in the history of American sports by far.
I'm the best player in the world, and I got to go to. But Diana, here's the facts. Here's the facts. Perhaps you're in the top 5 million of basketball players globally. Perhaps, and I say that in all seriousness. How many men are better than Diana Taurasi?
All of them.
All of them.
I mean, I'm not.
Well, the ones that play. But Jason, to her point, you could be the greatest jazz musician. You're not going to get paid like Taylor Swift. You're not. And you could be Wynton Marsalis, who I respect. You're only going to make a certain amount. That's the reality of it. And I like jazz a little bit here and there. I think it's very melodic. It's very relaxing. But I do realize one thing. When I listen to that radio, it ain't Mo Better Blues soundtrack that's playing. That's the truth.
I'm just trying to figure out why let's say she is the best at something, which she's not. She's not in the top however many. 5 million would be unbelievably generous, by the way.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, okay. But, okay, how much should we pay the person who's the world's best at sewing buttons on a shirt? It's like, just because you're good at something doesn't, like, capitalism is dictated by what is generated. Being the best has absolutely nothing to do with it.
At one time, who's the best shot putter?
I'm butch lesbian.
Male shot putter. What's he make? What's the top discus thrower?
It was actually Christian Cantwell from Mizzou for a long time. He I think, was a silver medalist in the shot put. There you go.
What do they make? That's a sport. He's the best at it. Yeah, what's he make? And Diana, with a degree from UConn, I would think you would be qualified to be a janitor in the WNBA. If they're making more money than you, yeah. Apply for that job. This is the pandering and the entitlement and just fingernails on a chalkboard.
The lack of vision, because that is the thing too. So say you're not getting paid much, but what you've been given is a platform, and if you wanted to go start something for women's basketball, you could make a lot of money actually starting a business that actually generates revenue. And then there's your generational wealth, so you don't have to go over to communist Russia, as though it was 1991.
$75,000, I think, is what Caitlin Clark is getting paid from the WNBA. I came out of college, and I made $5 an hour. That was a college degree from Ball State. I made $5, and I turned out to be one of the best sports writers of my era. I ended up making a lot more money, but this whole whining and complaining that 21, 22, 23-year-old women coming out of college are making $75,000 a year, that's a good living. When you're 21, 22, that's a great living. That's a great entry-level job for 4 months. And you can go you can go be a janitor the other 8 months.
Here's what they would argue. And again, it's a stupid argument, but it is what they argue. They argue that, hey, listen, this basketball thing, especially for the run-of-the-mill women who are in the WNBA, I don't know what the average career is, but let me tell you what they say for the NFL guys. NFL guys, that's great you made it. You're going to be here on average 2.7 years. So then what? And they're saying $75,000 for 3 years or whatever it would be. Then it's like, well, I haven't built anything. So our hope is to push that you get some seed money to go start a business. That's their actual argument. Now, again, it's not capitalism. That is charity. But that's what they're hoping for. I need some money to be able to sustain when I can't play in the WNBA anymore, because this obviously is not a lifelong thing.
When I couldn't play football anymore, I had to go start a journalism career. This is what life is. And so I'm telling you, get you a janitor's degree, pick up a trade. Become a car salesman, an insurance person, a podcaster. Anyway, I've had enough. Steve? I got to
one
move
last
on.
thing.
I'm a little tiny.
And this whole thing,
Yeah,
like
go ahead, go
generational
ahead.
wealth, that's not promised to anybody. In fact, that's not part of the American dream. I mean, we all aim for it. Would be nice, but when I do any job, any of us, none of us ever really say, "Wow, we're getting generational wealth." No, we're trying to make a living, trying to pay our bills, and Diana Taurasi thinking somehow her pursuit of generational wealth is something we should feel guilty about. Again, the most unlikable league in the history of the universe.
If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.